Tony G is looking down at ace-king offsuit.
I promise you I was qualified.
Tony re-raises.
That's enough, right? Because if I miss the flop, I fold. I promise.
Pre-flop begins with a layered confrontation that illustrates the aggressive posturing common in high-stakes professional games.
Oh, you've got position, Tony. How can we raise you?
See the small blind? I've defended it 3 times in a row with a re-raise. I've been consistent.
Protecting the loose cannon.
The flop falls, a texture that creates an immediate and dangerous hierarchy. Tony G has flopped top pair, top kicker with his ace-king, the absolute dream scenario for his pre-flop aggression. Hasham has also hit top pair.
The ace from space has arrived.
But he is the victim of a classic kicker trap, as his 5 is hopelessly outclassed by Tony's king. Tony G fires a heavy continuation bet of 11,000.
The Whiffmeister.
Hasham, unable to release top pair, makes a sticky call, and Viffer, holding a statistical monster of a draw, also comes along.
Please be a heart on a turn.
It is a heart.
Magical. It's so magical. It's another 8 too. Just calling 8 flush cards.
I check. I haven't got any.
Tony G, perhaps sensing that his top pair is now vulnerable on such a wet board, decides to check.
I'm all in.
That Joe Hasham decides to exploit, believing that Tony's check indicates a give-up or a weak ace.
Go on, Whiff.
I'm trying to figure out what he has here.
It is a high-risk maneuver designed to force a fold from a better ace or a draw. Viffer, realizing the price has become too steep for his draw against 2 aggressive opponents, finally gets out of the way.
Tony calls.
What do we have?
I can't wait.
I don't have much. I have 1 pair, so.
Oh, you got a draw.
One pair is good with top kicker.
Oh, wow.
Is that good?
God, I wish I would have called.
Joe's dead to a 5 or a 7 for a gut shot, and 2 5s have been folded.
The river is a 7.
Seven from heaven.
That's sweet. 36, right?
Hasham doubles through.
Tony G is looking down at ace-jack offsuit. Pre-flop begins with a strategic collision between the brash, high-pressure style of Tony G and the calculated, clinical approach of Scott Siver.
Too easy.
The flop falls a total monochrome nightmare. Tony G holds 40% equity and decides to maintain his aggressive narrative. He leads out for 3,000. Siver, realizing that the board is dangerously wet and that he needs to protect his hand against the infinite draws, executes a powerful raise to 11,000. He is telling Tony that the small ball era of the hand is over. This is the strategic pivot point where the hand enters the stratosphere.
I'm all in.
Scott's all in. Tony calls.
Run it once again, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
He has 2 pair. He has the straight. The straight for sure. Tony, you have a straight.
No.
You have a straight.
This is, again, a too many outs syndrome. I wish he just had ace-jack no club, then I'd be in trouble. Ace-jack with a club, though? Too many outs.
Scott and his friends contend that too many outs can actually hurt you, kind of like how when you have kings, there's a 90% chance an ace will hit.
Jack on the turn.
Okay. Now it could be an ace, jack, 10.
Like I said, this is way too many outs syndrome. Way too many outs.
This would be sick if you don't hit this. I'll be really annoyed, too.
The river, a brick.
Unreal.
Well done.
You never win any hand.
No.
Crazy.
That's it.
Sorry, Tony.
Well done, Todd.
Tony G is looking down at pocket 3s. Pre-flop begins with a strategic alignment that sets the stage for a spectacular 3-way collision. Harlow initiates the action with a standard opening to 1,400 holding pocket jacks. In most scenarios, this is a dominant hand, but the table dynamic is loose and speculative. Tony G decides to flat call. This is a classic set mining maneuver. Tony is banking on the deep stacks and his ability to hide the strength of a small pair if he connects. The flop falls an absolute tactical explosion. This texture acts as a total trapdoor for all 3 players. Tony G thinks he has struck absolute gold, flopping bottom set of 3s, but Mercier has flopped the nut straight. Harlow, meanwhile, holds an overpair to the board with his pocket jacks. After Mercier checks his draw, Harlow fires a continuation bet of 4,000. He is betting for value and protection, but he is walking into a psychological minefield.
One thing we're lacking is action.
This is the strategic pivot point where the hand enters the stratosphere. Jason Mercier, holding the straight, decides to seize the initiative with a massive 3-bet to 29,000. By doing this, Mercier is effectively representing a straight or a set of fours. Tony refuses to be bullied and executes a clinical 4-bet to 125,000, effectively putting Mercier all in.
Quick call from Jason.
Like a nerd with a hot chick's phone number, Mercier calls immediately.
Wow, what a flop.
Tony G would like to call this date off.
I just run it once.
They're going to run it once.
Nearly 250 grand in the middle.
Better for the TV viewer.
Good luck, boys.
Tony will need the board to pair.
It doesn't on the turn. 8 of spades.
I want to feel his heart rate, Jason.
Feel mine.
Yours, we're not, whatever, Yours is gonna ding, ding, ding. His is like ding, ding. Close your eyes, kid. You'll know by the reaction.
The river. The 6 of clubs. And Jason Mercier doubles up to 237 grand.
2 flops and been all in both times.
Tony G is looking down at King 5 suited. Pre-flop begins with a textbook display of small ball, aggression that quickly lures the entire table into a treacherous multi-way dynamic. Scott Siver, sitting with pocket 8s, makes a highly deceptive decision to just flat call. In a full ring game, this medium pair often warrants a 3-bet for protection, but Siver chooses the trappy route, hiding his strength and inviting others in. The flop falls a texture that acts as a total landmine for 3 of the 4 players. The action is ignited by Tony G. Despite having only bottom pair and a flush draw with his King 5, Tony decides to seize the initiative with a donk bet of 4,000. This move is pure psychological warfare. He is trying to define the hand immediately.
I'm all in.
Daniel's out.
I call.
Scott calls.
Wah-wah-wee-wah.
That's bad.
You got flush draw there.
However many times you want to run it is fine by
once.
me. Once is fine by me.
3 8s. Flush draw.
Thank you, Daniel.
You're so due to hit a flush, it's unreal.
I haven't hit one. I'm happy to go home.
Actually, Scott Siver is the one that's all in right now.
Tony, I really do like you, but I got to admit I'm rooting for myself.
The turn, a 9.
Nope. Now you need a 6. That'd be much better.
6 would be much better. Lots of outs. Come on, dealer, let's do it one time.
I don't know. Us kids on the internet talk about too many outs syndrome. When you pick up this many outs on the turn, never hit. You need to be like cut down to 2 outs going into the river to hit it.
I believe you.
Yeah, I know, believe it.
Possible.
It's science.
It's not impossible.
It's mathematical fact. This is a classic too many outs syndrome right here.
Truth be told, Tony's only picked up 1 more out.
The river's the 3 of diamonds.
Too easy. She's consistent. Well, thank you.
See you later, man.
Well done, everyone.
You
Take
ran
care.
like awful.
Nice.
Tony seems to think he's busted.
Daniel Negreanu kicks things off with Queen-Jack offsuit. He is raised to $2,800, but is up against Tony G with Ace-King offsuit.
Action folds over to Tony G, who makes the call.
2 strong hands going into the flop.
Queen 6 Jack.
King of the world.
Check by Tony G.
Tony G's missed. Daniel's gonna fire with top 2.
Bets 5,500.
Tony G knows Negreanu would bet this flop even if he had nothing, but he decides not to go for a semi-bluff raise, and instead, he floats, letting Daniel tell his tale while he quietly waits for something on the turn.
Tony has 2 overcards, even though they're no good. He's really only looking for a 10 to make a gut shot.
There it is.
Tony G tries to keep a poker face as he just hit his straight. He knows Daniel Negreanu is the best of all time at reading people. This is a critical moment to let Daniel continue building the pot. He checks, letting Daniel think 2-pair is the best hand here. Tony is in total control right now, patiently waiting for the right time to make his next raise get called.
Daniel bets 14 grand. A raise to 50,000 by Tony G.
A quick raise of 50,000. Tony's the kind of player that could be doing this with a worse 2-pair. He could be doing it with a draw. He could be doing it with flat out nothing, but a raise that big, that fast, usually means only one of 2 things, a monster hand or a monster bluff.
Daniel makes the call.
Tony using his hand to keep his mouth closed because it's probably watering right now.
The river gives Daniel a full house.
These two have been playing against each other at the highest level for 3 decades.
Tony checks.
Negreanu knows Tony has a straight, as you will see in his prediction at the end. He's not worried about being beaten here. He's just doing the math now. What's the number Tony G can't resist calling here?
Bet 80.
Negreanu makes it 80,000 to go. Snap call from Tony.
Negreanu shows him the bad news, hands him the keys of the
You
city.
had ace king.
Yep. Well done, Daniel. Well done.
Played it good.
Nice dealer.
Sorry, Tony, you played it good.
Daniel Negreanu is holding ace-10 suited. Pre-flop is all ego and leverage. Tony G opens small Houston flats, and Negreanu snaps on the squeeze to 7K.
Well, if at first you don't succeed,
You must.
you make it 7,000.
Perfect against two wide ranges. Tony G knows Houston's call is weak money and fires back to 24K with pocket eights, classic isolation, and dare 4-bet. Negreanu takes the button, keeps Tony's bluffs in, and controls the pot. That flat says, I'll outplay you post-flop, keep the range wide. Flop comes rainbow, Negreanu's dream in a 4-bet pot, top pair, ace kicker, clean texture.
I'm all in.
Tony shoves.
Who cares? I guess you got, what do you have, kings now?
I'm committed again.
No, I know you are. Okay, you can show me one if you want.
Even if you gave me $1 million, I wouldn't show you.
$1 million? Oh boy, Tony G. I guess I should. You're a nice guy. You do good things with your money, right?
I do.
You do? All right, I'll give you some more, I guess. All right.
Daniel calls.
You have kings or something?
No, one time. No.
Jack of clubs on the turn.
Oh my God, did that make him more outs? Yeah. I just realized. Oh God, I was like, oh Jack, that's a good card.
The river. The king of hearts.
It's a scary one.
Vanessa is looking down on pocket aces.
So it's me and you. I got to raise it 1,200. So if you re-raise, then you build the pot so big, and then you're going to get bluffed out in a big pot.
Tony G thinks he's going to outplay Vanessa post-flop with position and a junk-suited looking hand.
Keep the pots low. I bet 2,000.
Yeah.
That's fair, you know. I think it's better betting in a dark. A dark raise, that's hard and commitment.
The flop is the dream board for Tony. He smashes bottom 2 pair versus most opponents. This is where he starts fast playing, trying to punish overpairs and top pair by ballooning the pot immediately. He leads 2K, to which Vanessa instantly raises to 5K. From her point of view, this looks super standard. She has overpair, she doesn't block spades, there are straight and flush combos Tony G can show up with, and she wants to deny equity.
You ready?
From Tony's point of view, that raise is exactly what he was hoping to induce. He doesn't just call, he makes it 20K.
You ready? If you win the hand, you keep me quiet.
Don't believe you. That bluff I'll call.
That size is Tony basically telling a story of, I'm not scared of you, I have a real hand. The problem he doesn't realize is Vanessa loves that story. When she flats the 20K instead of jamming, she's saying, I have you in jail, and I'm letting you keep betting. With aces, she caps nothing, and Tony can't narrow her the way he thinks he can. Turn is where everything flips, and Tony doesn't feel it yet. So Tony keeps value betting for 10K.
You could shut me right up.
How?
Well, by being all in and winning the pot.
Punch in the face.
Just push a button?
Thinking he can still get called by worse and charge flush draws. But in reality, he's now drawing almost dead against boats and nutty slow plays, and Vanessa has him in a spot where calling is mandatory and raising is unnecessary. Full house versus full house is where bankrolls go bankrupt because nobody folds boats to 1-bet emotionally.
Now you got to show some guts. Can you bet this, or are you going to make a really weak check now on the end? Go on, Vanessa, you can do it.
All in.
Call.
Ace is full.
Wow, very nice. That's the best. Very nice.
You got screwed?
I got a full house too on the end.
Wow.
And a flush draw. That's it. That shut me up. Well done, Vanessa.
Vanessa doubles through.
I got lucky, obviously.
Not really. I mean, it's...
We took turns getting lucky. I got lucky to get the aces. You got lucky on the flop. I got lucky on the turn.
I haven't won one hand when I've been good. So.
Daniel Negreanu is looking down on King-Queen offsuit. The table is 4-way after Tony G opens, and Viffer, Negreanu, and Scott Siver all come along. That matters because equities flatten in multi-way pots. Single pair hands lose value while nutted, and draw heavy holdings gain. Tony G's range from early position in this lineup still contains suited connectors.
There's room for everyone to keep improving.
I mean, the way you guys all play, there's certainly tons of room.
Yeah.
Scott
Yeah.
calls.
I'm gonna go with an old Hellmuth trick. Watch this, gentlemen. Check in the dark. How do you fade that? Seriously, check in the dark. I don't even want to see what's coming.
Checking through is revealing. On this texture, the pre-flop raiser has a lot of one pair and gut shot combinations that dislike being raised by 3 players.
See how that worked? Because if I wouldn't have done that, they would have been more scared. My turn, right?
Daniel's still open-ended.
Did you qualify?
Yes, I've qualified pretty comfortably at this point. Question is, how much do I want to put in there?
You checked.
No, I'm not. I'm not, for
He's
sure.
not checking?
Yeah. If you're folding any bet, you can just do that now. I'm going to put in,
The turn is the 7 of spades, a huge card for Tony G's side of the range, and a bad one for capped checkbacks. Negreanu leads $3,600 into the field, a small sizing that targets folds from the Broadway airballs, and denies equity to Queen 9, 9-8, and the club draws. Scott's call with Queen Jack keeps dominated queens in, but the raise from Tony G to $14,000 is the pivotal data point. After a street of passivity, that raise is heavily weighted to value.
If I win the pot, I'll give you your money back.
Negreanu's call with King-Queen looks ambitious only if you ignore blocker logic. He removes the queen that completes Tony G's higher straight and retains outs to the ace or 9 to make his own. Scott correctly recognizes he's in kicker jail and releases.
Wow, that was a big sweat.
Took a long time. That speech really got him.
he made a big laydown just now.
The river is the 9 of diamonds. Range-wise, it's a dagger for Tony G. His made straight from the turn remains a straight, but Negreanu's king-queen now upgrades to the higher straight. When Negreanu fires $35,000, the story is polarized between exactly that high straight and bluffs that bricked clubs or random Queen X that tried to push Tony G off a one-pair hand.
Are you also offering my 4,800 back if you...
Tony calls and Daniel wins a $100,000 pot.
I had the nuts on the turn. Wow, well done.